Okay, we're back in. Uh, what this is, uh, I'm asking now the question, uh, are you planning on performing Hajj? Are you planning on performing the Hajj? You the viewer, the listener, are you planning? I've been saving money. I missed it this year. Maybe inshallah next year I'll go and all that. I'm saving my money. It costs quite a bit of money now, a lot of money. So I'm saving and taking out loans, mortgage my house, whatever I do. I want to go there and die on the Hajj. Do whatever I got to do. Just got to get there to stone those stone columns. There's Shaitan. I throw the stones at them. I want to kiss that black stone. I got to get there and see if I can kiss that black stone. I got to walk around that stone building. Uh, I got to get there and spend all that money to go do that. I got to the doors on the doors on the house has got Muhammad and Allah side by side, and I want to stand under that big clock that's got that uh, symbol on top, the crescent moon and the star. And I just want to be in that environment there, just walking around and just doing what I think I'm commanded to do. So I'm going to save my money and spend all of that. Well, to your surprise, the Quran says, no, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't perform Hajj. Don't save your money to perform Hajj. As a matter of fact, there's no Hajj that could be done today ever by anyone. Now tell me when you heard somebody say that. This is what we do here. We do new investigative reporting. We come up with new concepts. We come up with new thinking that we knew, meaning that it's new to us. It's in the Quran all the time. But because we're critical researchers, critical thinkers, careful about what we look at, and we trust Allah to guide our thinking. So Allah guides our thinking and causes us to come up with these things that we've seen all these years and never paid attention to what they were. I went and made that Hajj in 1970 and walked around that building, kissed those black stones, and stood on Arafat and all of the whole business there. Spent my money for that, wasted my time. I'm saying to you now, I'm getting ready to show you and the Muslim world that no one is to make Hajj now, hence, and forevermore, and shouldn't have been making it in the past since the time of Abraham. Once Abraham died, no more Hajj. That was the end of the Hajj. No more Hajj. Now that's a big statement to make. I'm just letting you let it sear for a minute, and let you digest it because you law. I can hear the laws now. The brothers bugging out. You see, because you don't know nothing, you don't study, you don't look, you don't listen, and anybody, well, brother, don't listen to that brother. He don't know what he's talking about, and so you missed this point here. So now let's get it rolling. Let's get it kicking. Planning on performing Hajj, the Quran says no. This is my headlines here that I got. I put it up. I wrote it up like this here, if we can see it. Look, planning on performing Hajj, the Quran says no, no. That's it. So now, let me read you a couple of verses. Chapter 2, verse 125. Chapter 2, verse 125. I'm just going to read two verses and make this case close. Going to close this case with two verses. And I dare any mufti, any scholar, any sheikh from now until the day of Qiyamah to prove it wrong. I dare them. I dare them. I dare them. I put my whole life and reputation on this argument right here. I dare them. 2 125. And we made the house a resort for men and a place of security. And take ye the place of Abraham for a place of prayer. I'm going to keep that word in there, prayer, Salah. And we enjoined on Abraham and Ishmael, saying, Purify my house for those who visit it and those who abide in it for devotion, and those who bow down and those who prostrate themselves. That verse, I'm going to stop right there. Well, brother, you need to read the full context. You need to read this and read that. I don't need to read none of that. I didn't even have to read that verse. I'm just throwing that in just for some little sugar coating. I didn't need that verse. This is the verse I need right here. What I'm getting ready to read is going to end your Hajj career for life and show the pagan foolishness that you're involved in. I didn't have to read that. Don't tell me about context. I know how to research. I know context. Okay, here's the verse that's going to wear you out. Chapter 22, verse 27. You're done now. Your goose is cooked. Your goose is cooked. 27. And proclaim to men the Hajj, the pilgrimage. They will come to thee on foot, on every lean camel, coming from every remote path. Let me read it again. And proclaim to men the pilgrimage. They will come to thee on foot and on every lean camel coming from every remote path. Now I remember looking at this and some people online, Brother Tariq and Brother Shafiq and Brother Saeed, if you're out there listening, you guys know that we talked about this subject 20 years ago. 20 years ago, and I was inquiring about it. But because I was a Sunni Muslim, I didn't pay it no mind. I didn't think to investigate it. I didn't think there was no harm there, nothing like that. And so I was just a Sunni, following all the Sunni Hadith books and all that kind of stuff. So now that I'm following the Quran only, I'm following the Quran only, studying and researching and getting my information from the Quran only. Now I'm looking at these things and they have a whole different point of view. Now, if I ask the average person, so now I did ask Brother Shuaib the other day when we had our conversation. I said, brother, let me ask you a question. Do you believe in the institution of Hajj? Hodge. He said yes, but not the basically, some just summarizing basically what he said, not verbatim. He said not the traditional type Hajj that you see them doing now. I said, well, do you believe in the institution of Hajj, like pilgrimage? And he said yes. So I asked him two questions. Actually, there was three, but I held one back. Two questions. I said, well, did Moses any record, any historical record of Moses making Hajj or of Jesus making Hajj? And he said, well, basically, he's not really concerned with that. He's concerned with the creed of Abraham, the creed of Abraham. He's not really that concerned about that. And so I didn't push the issue because I wasn't there to debate him. We were there to make amends for the situation and move forward in a respectful manner. But I did kind of slide that under the belt because I knew I was going to discuss it today. Now I'm adding another name. I'm adding another name. Did Moses make Hajj? No, there's no historical records of that. Did Jesus make Hajj? No historical record of that. Did Muhammad make Hajj? And I'm saying no. No, even though there's historical records that he made Hajj one time in his life, and that was the so-called farewell pilgrimage, where they claim we were taught as Sunnis that that was the greatest gathering. If anybody wanted to report a hadith from the Prophet, that was the greatest gathering, his farewell speech, and there he was supposed to have said, "I leave with you." Something that I'm going to leave with you. Some say I leave with you the Quran alone. Some say I leave with you the Quran and Sunnah. Some said he said, I'll leave with you Quran and Ahlul Bayt. So the Shiite take one, the Sunnis take one, and now the Quran alone followers take one. So one of the other he said, or he didn't say, or he never said nothing. I'm saying he never made a Hajj period in his life, period. Now look at it. Let's look at the verse. Let's look at the verse and see how you got tricked and how you overlooked this. Because the average person, if I run up on them in the street and I say, "Excuse me, brother, tell me this verse. Can you put it back up on the screen?" I say, "Can you tell me this verse? What's that saying?" It says that there, and proclaim to men the Hajj. So you're thinking that it's talking about Muhammad, that Muhammad should proclaim to men the Hajj. That's probably what you're thinking. But if you're smart, and maybe you're smarter than what I think you are, you'll say, well, that's Abraham proclaiming. I said, well, very good. But if you're silly and you don't know, and or maybe you just don't know, you ain't got to really be silly. You just didn't know, and you just assume. You assume that it's Muhammad proclaiming the Hajj. And so now the key verses is, they will come to thee. They will come to thee. They're not coming to Allah. They're coming to the one who proclaimed the Hajj. That's who they're coming to. Whoever's proclaiming this Hajj, that's who they're coming to. They're coming to him, that person. And they're coming on foot and on every lean camel, coming from every remote path. So I said to myself, that don't seem like transcontinental travel to me. Whoever they're coming to is not a law. They're coming to a person, and it's not transcontinental travel. It's not global travel. They're not coming by airplane or by boat or by a SpaceX or something like that. They're coming from local territory in the surrounding area that you can get there by a camel, a horse, a donkey, or on foot from every little valley and all of that, and they come into this specific person. So this person is Abraham. This person is Abraham. Once Abraham died, they can no longer come to him. They can no longer come to him. This is why you don't have any record of Jesus, of Moses coming, because how is he going to come? Abraham is not there. He can't come to Abraham. Who's coming to? Jesus can't come. How's he going to come? Abraham is not there. How's Jesus going to come to him? Muhammad can't come to Hajj. Abraham is not there. How's he going to come to him? So nobody can come to Hajj anymore. Hajj is done with Abraham. Whatever Hajj was, whatever it was, and that's not my business about what the ritual was and what they were doing and shaving their heads and all that kind of business. That's not my business. I don't care. My point is, you can't do it no more, and that's the end of it. Hajj is over. Anybody making Hajj now is committing a crime, a shirk, an innovation, a bid'ah, and is not sanctioned by the Quran. Now let's let chat break that down.
Yes, I've got it for you. The discussion you're referring to is saved under the title No Global Pilgrimage Commanded in the Quran. Here is the full content of that document. Title: No Global Pilgrimage Commanded in the Quran. Main claim: the Quran does not command a global pilgrimage, Hajj, for all of mankind in all times. Instead, Hajj was a localized event tied to a specific messenger, Abraham, and his time. Key verse analysed. وَأَنْ أَنْتَدِنْ فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا وَعَلَى كُلِّ ضَامِرٍ يَأْتِينَ مِنْ كُلِّ فَجٍّ عَمِيقٍ. And Proclaim to mankind the pilgrimage. They will come to you on foot and on every lean camel, coming from every deep ravine. Analysis, yetuka. They will come to you, a direct command to Abraham. The pronoun ke, you, is second person singular, referring to a living person at that moment, i.e., Abraham himself. This implies people would only come while Abraham was alive. Once he died, the command was no longer active or applicable. Rijala, on foot, kulli damir, on lean camel, indicates real-time physical movement, not a spiritualized or timeless rite. Min kulli fejjin amik, from every deep ravine, describes nearby terrain, not from every continent or from every land, but deep valleys consistent with local or regional travel. Why later prophets could not fulfill this command? Abraham was the one being addressed in 22:27. No one can come to him after his death. Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad came long after Abraham, and there is no Quranic verse showing that they performed this pilgrimage. They called people to perform it. They were authorized to reissue Abraham's specific command. Therefore, by the principle of bivalence, true or false, it is false to claim that the pilgrimage in 22:27 is a timeless global command for all humans. Supporting verses. Allah has made the Kaaba a maintenance for mankind. Symbolic, not necessarily a ritual center for all time. Discusses people hindering others from the sacred mosque. Implies local conflict and not universal participation. Quran 296 mentions Hajj in descriptive, not prescriptive terms. No direct command is found here either. Conclusion: the Quran does not prescribe a universal transcontinental pilgrimage. The Hajj mentioned in 22 was localized, time-bound, addressed directly to Abraham, not repeated by later prophets, not imposed as a global ritual obligation. Therefore, no global Hajj is commanded in the Quran.
Well, there you have it. No global Hajj in the Quran. Abraham is dead. You cannot come to him. It didn't say come to Allah. Like now they want to change it. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. Innal hamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika la. So they act like they're coming to Allah. No, that was coming to Abraham. Abraham's time. He was calling the people for whatever reason he wanted to call them for, is to give them the information of his millet and as well as perhaps his creed. His millet was pure monotheism, to become Hanafi Muslims, and his creed was associating nothing with Allah, doing justice, implementing the dictates of God as they were related in the respective books that have been revealed, and that each people had to adhere to. So he called them for that purpose. He's no longer to call nobody. It's not Allah. Allah is not calling you to Hajj. Nobody can go to Hajj anymore. That's the end of that ball game. It's over. Now you can take it or leave it and keep spending your money and wasting your time, but that verse is there. It's not going to go anywhere. Don't tell me about other verses that you're reading about the house and the foundation and one thing after the other and all that. It says, they will come to you. You can't, you're not there. I don't care what you did before with all other contexts. They can't come to you, so there's no more Hajj. Cases closed. With that, I'm going to end this Zoom now, and I'm going to open it up for questions and observations and criticisms or whatever you like. We're going to cut it short today, not too much, but that's a bombshell, and that's going to stand. Let me see who's going to come back with some argument. Let's see somebody call me out to challenge me on this. Some grand sheikh, some mufti, some student of knowledge, or whatever. Not some little pipsqueak person. Uh, but at the same time, make up your own mind. They will come to you. Get over that. They will come to you. Get over that. Once you get over that and you can surpass that, then you can say, well, there's continuous Hajj. If not, Muhammad never made any pilgrimage. Now, even the Sunnis, like I said again, they said he was messenger. He lived, he became, he became messenger. I think they say at the age of 40. That's what we were taught. He was 40 years living in Mecca, 40 years, and he never made a Hajj. He never made a Hajj. And then for 23 years as the messenger prophet, he never made a Hajj. Only on his farewell pilgrimage, he made a Hajj when he was dying and leaving. And so therefore he made a Hajj there. And we're saying no, there was no such Hajj made by him at all, period. So why in the world would he be right there every year and not making Hajj? Why would he be doing that? He's sitting right there in Mecca and the people are making Hajj and he's not making it. Oh, Muhammad, it's time for Hajj. Nah, y'all got that. I'm chilling. I'm not walking around that mess doing that. No, it was no Hajj for him to make. Simple as that. Okay, so we'll leave it open for questions, and perhaps I'm going to build on this argument some more. On this argument, come to thee. I have some other material, but I'm pushed for time for some other reasons. I got to take care of some other stuff, but I'm going to come and revisit this again and build on it again. But right now, you tell me why it's wrong when it says they will come to you. Who are they coming to? Who's the you? Who's that you that they're coming to? It wasn't Muhammad. Muhammad wasn't born. Muhammad wasn't around. It wasn't Moses. It wasn't Jesus. That's why they never made the Hajj because they couldn't come to Abraham. There was no wait for them to come. Open for questions and answers and observations. Anybody? Well, okay. Who's this, brother Shafiq?
This brother Shafiq.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. How are you?
Okay, fine, brother. Again, very, very, very powerful, powerful Zoom, you know. Um, and this piece on Hajj shocked me, because I made Hajj back in 1989, you know, and and to have this piece of information, it urges each and every one of us who claim to believe in this Quran to revisit it and look at it with a more critical eye now. Because it's not just this, there's other things in the Quran that's like this, that you have brought to our attention over periods of time, over the time that we've been friends, myself, Talib, Tariq, Saeed, all the brothers that have come and passed through and on their journey towards Allah. So I want to thank you very much for this Zoom. It is very much an upgrade from previous Zooms, as you always do. So I want to thank Allah first, thank all my brothers and sisters for attending, and thanking you as well, brother.
I appreciate those words, Shafiq.
Salam, everybody. And I would also like to thank Brother Hamza for a wonderful discussion today. I've learned a lot. I did the Hajj in 2008. And yes, I do regret I went to touch the corner of the Kaaba and I asked Allah for forgiveness because I didn't know what I was doing there.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Fatima, I'm so glad always to hear you and have you on board with us. And you're very dedicated and very serious, and may Allah reward you immensely, and everyone else who's listening. And sometimes when I'm mentioning, I forget to mention my brother Talib. I talk about Shafiq and Saeed and Tariq, and I forget Talib, one of my main homeboys. So don't don't be mad at me, Talib, if I forget. Maybe it's because of the Tariq and the Talib, and I think maybe I'm saying both of you. But no, I thank everyone for coming on board. And this is information now that has to pass on. And somebody has to come now and say, brother, you don't know what you're talking about. So if I don't know what I'm talking about, then explain the come to thee. That's all you got to do is get that straight, and my argument falls to the ground. If the come to thee is not coming to Abraham, and you, since you no longer can come to him, that's why we say Moses didn't make Hajj. Can you imagine Abraham saying all mankind has to make Hajj and Moses didn't come? Moses and his people didn't come to Mecca to make Hajj. How would he stand before Allah and say, well, Moses, how can you made Salah and all that kind of stuff? You faced the Qibla, you did this, you did that, or whatever you did. How come you didn't come to Hajj? I commanded you. He said, Hajj? What Hajj? How am I going to come to Hajj? Abraham was dead. What about Jesus? Is it Jesus? You mean to tell me you and all your disciples and your people and all that, you were gone for 18 years or something in the Christian situation? You didn't slip off to Hajj. You didn't make the Hajj. And somebody recorded and said, wow, look at that. That's Jesus there making Hajj. Nobody recorded that in history? No. Why would I be doing that? Abraham was dead. Muhammad, how come you waited all those years until the last pilgrimage of your life to make Hajj? And it's right there in your door, you're right around you every day. And you didn't make Hajj? How come you didn't do that? Hajj? What Hajj? I wasn't running around that stone building and doing all that mess like that. That wasn't what Hajj was, and I'm the one brought the revelation. I know that had nothing to do with no Hajj. No, I knew
Are you
the
done with the food here? Must I pack this away now?
so I knew that verse.
Asim, did you want to take this mince home?
So nobody was making no Hajj.
Nadim, did you want to take the mince home?
So anybody who disagrees have to now bring forth, come to thee. Otherwise, you have to fall back and what? Be quiet. You have to fall back and be quiet. Don't come in the comment section with all that old stupid, ignorant, blind following stuff. Who cares about that? Such weaklings and pitiful Muslims. You're so pitiful. That's why the Muslim world right now is pitiful because a bunch of ignorant, pitiful Sunni Muslims practicing some fake religion hijacked from the Quran. And Allah is not blessing you, not guiding you, not helping you, and letting the enemy shaitan just wear you out from right and left, and you deserve what you get. Simple as that.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Hamza.
Yes.
This is Najia. I want to say thank you so much. This has meant so much to me. And this is powerful today. I mean, it hit different. It's really, really powerful. Uh, and I've been doing El Islam and for a long time. Since 1984. And
Okay.
sometimes I listen to you, I cry because I've been led, it hurts, but I've been led astray by people I've trusted.
Yes.
And I'm sorry,
I understand.
I'm emotional. Uh, but what I want to ask is this Hajj in the Quran, the section of Hajj, is this more so all of Abraham, Prophet Abraham? Is
Yes,
this
it
his
only has something to do with Abraham and his time and his
Abraham?
people.
Okay,
Yeah. Nothing after Abraham. There's no Hajj after Abraham. After Abraham, no Hajj. Whatever it was for his people. And we know that Allah says, you will not be questioned about what they did, and they won't be questioned about what you did. It was for them. Got nothing to do with now. It's a money game for the Saudis now. They make money off this Hajj. You know how many billions of dollars they make every year for people coming to this Hajj?
right.
Billions of dollars.
People
Billion.
go broke, and it's pathetic. I don't like that.
Yeah. So uh, just be thankful that Allah has allowed you to stay alive until this moment, that now you get chance now to correct many things that you might have gotten wrong. You ask Allah, you make tawbah, turn to Allah and ask Allah to pardon you for all the ignorance that you imbibed, even though you were innocent of it, and that you thank Him for allowing you to live another day to hear this. Everybody's not going to say this to you. I don't get paid. Nobody
Thank,
owns. I can say what I please. So I'm not on nobody's payroll. I'm not trying to get no YouTube following. I don't have nothing but only the truth matters, and I do me. I can say what I please. I don't care. And anybody come after me about anything, they better come with the truth or the facts, otherwise they're getting jammed. Simple as that. And if that somebody shows me that I'm wrong, I'll change my position on a dime. But I try not to be wrong. When I open my mouth about a law, you better know if you're in opposition, you are wrong. And when I open my mouth in public about a law and you in opposition, you better know that you're wrong and not me. Opposition. Not that we have a different view. That's something
mhm.
different. That contradictory. No, you're going to be wrong, not me. So, sister, I can feel your emotion, and that's the way your heart should be. It should bring out that kind of emotion when the truth comes to you. That's the
Yes,
true feeling of a believer.
thank you.
Anybody else?
Assalamualaikum Hamza.
Yes, who's this?
Yasin.
Yassine, my boy, my man, brother. Your pops just had a birthday the other day.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, my longtime friend.
Yep, big 77. Almost there.
77, getting up there. I called him, I said, brother, you're almost 80 years old now. You know, you can say 77 if you want. Just count that 80. Anyway, go on with your question, your observation, Yassine. I appreciate it.
Well, I wanted to say I deeply appreciated this video. I think you presented it very well. You know, not just your defense for what you stated, but any responses to anything you had to review. I joined slightly late because I was busy taking care of certain duties. But for the part I got in, I've learned a whole lot. I could say likely more than anything I learned before from any of the previous videos I've watched of yours. So I just want to say thank you for that. And I took a lot of notes.
Well, I thank you too, and I remember you, as a very young lad, uh, coming with your father to our sessions, and you were always interested, always inquisitive, always sharp, always questioning, never taking anything on face value, challenging. And I said, why, this young guy here, he's a whip, and right now I see you on Facebook battling with these idiots uh, that should know better about silly season stuff. But I think sometimes it might just be a waste of time with them going backwards and forward. But now you have a chance to review this tape, this video, and get the information that you missed. Double check the references, check everything, check and double check. Don't take it just because I said it. Just check and double check and come to your own conclusion, your own understanding, and something that you're going to walk out of here and take before law, because you don't know when you're going to drop dead. You don't know next month, next year, when. So be prepared to have what you have as your understanding tight in case Allah call you tonight. Hashtag boss.
I have one more comment. I must say that every time I listen to your get into your Zoom meetings, I'm always learning something new. And I feel it with Sister Nadia, because yes, it is to we learn and we do feel so emotional when we listen to you speak.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And there's a few sisters You guys know who you are, and I'm glad that you're coming on and identifying yourself. But I'm very honored to have you in this group of discussion and learning and thinking and using your own intellect. And I'm not the leader. I don't have followers. I don't have followers. I'm not the leader. I'm not nobody. I'm just Hamza Abdul Malik. I don't have nothing. I I who have nothing. I have nothing. I only just deal with the truth, and that's what it is. I don't have nothing. I'm not nobody's leader. I don't have any followers. I don't have any members. I don't have any colors. I don't have anything. It's just me, Hamza Abdul Malik, by myself, and whoever I study with. We study together. We study together. When I was teaching comparative religion, then I was teaching. With the Quran, I'm studying. I'm not teaching the Quran. I'm studying and bringing forth the facts as I understand them and the findings as I understand them. And now, since we have this sophisticated tool, uh, uh, AI chat, and as Baba Shuaib said, he has the top line version of it. I have the top line version in the US. The best that money can buy is what I have. And I bought that for my equipment to make sure I don't miss nothing. And if it upgrades, I'm upgrading with it. I pay for it. And I got chat trained now. I'm training chat. Look, chat, don't play games with me. I'm quoting you the Quran. You better get this stuff right together. If not, then you're just a fake and a phony. And my chat is like, I got you. I know where you coming from. Let's get busy. So that's the story. I don't have nothing. I don't have no followers, nobody, nothing. I'm not a leader. And again, I don't do Q&A sessions. I don't answer questions and all that. I'm only taking questions on what I just said. Other than that, you ask me about something else, I'm not telling you nothing. I'm not telling you nothing. I'm telling you, if you don't know, try to research it. If you don't know, Allah gave you 1736, leave it alone. He said, if you leave it alone, don't ask, because if you ask somebody and they tell you something, you ain't gonna like it. Like sometimes I hear people ask, well, what about this? And what about that? And you give them the answer, well, I don't know. I was thinking this and that, one thing after the other. So why are you asking? Now you're more confused, you don't know. And it's Allah said that if you ask when the book has been revealed and it's already revealed, your questions for your salvation is in the Quran already. Now, if you want a nation build and all that kind of thing, well, then you get a body of thinkers and political experts and whatever kind of scientists and people of special learning, and you establish a community with medical and physical science and astronomy or whatever you want to study, politics, uh, gardening, nature, or whatever. Uh, and you build a society like that with thinkers, and then you come together based on the Quranic principle of fair play and justice and deal and thinking and truth finding, fact finding, and you build it. For me, I'm only interested in something that's going to get me into paradise. If I was talking to Brother Shuaib, if I wasn't going to talk to Brother Shuaib and I was going to talk to somebody else, my subject would be Houdan. Brother, you're not going to talk to me until we get Houdan straight, the source of guidance. Once we get the source of guidance straight, then we can talk. I don't have to say that to Brother Shuaib. He knows the source of guidance. So now him and I, we have specific things that we differ about, and those specific things we're going to sit down as intellectual and cordial in a cordial environment and agree or disagree and bring out evidence and keep it moving. But we're going to combine now to go against all of these Sunnis and all of that and beat them down some more. And that's why I wanted to talk to him before today's lecture, because I didn't want to come out in a different way today, and you understand, and thinking that he was still in that old mode. I figured no, I think he's kind of not feeling that. So let me just call up and be sure, and then that way I can get up out of it also because it's quite draining, and for me it brings out the worst part of me, and I don't like that. It's an ugly side, and since I grew up through the hood, I came through the hood, and I know the ugly side of life, and so I can play that game if people want to play it, but now I think I can play it much better. I was good at playing the ugly side of life. I'm here 82 years in New York, Brooklyn, in the hoods of Brooklyn and Brownsville, uh, and Queens. And so I'm right 50 Cent. I can walk to his house 5 minutes from here. My store was 5 minutes from Mike Tyson. Riddick Bowe right down the street. Uh, Wendy Williams' husband was working right in the same block, in the same neighborhood. We were all from the hood. And so I already know what that is. So some brothers who know me from the back saying, "Brother, you off your rock," and all that. That's because they're following this old traditional understanding that they got from back in the day and learning fiqh and tafsir and hadith books and the people who went and studied and all that. And they haven't used their mind to look at the Quran, to think now for themselves. They don't trust the law to guide them. They don't trust the law. They don't trust the law to guide them. So the messenger will say, "My people abandon the Quran." They abandon the Quran, and that's what they have done. Abandon the Quran. So me, I don't have no money to collect from nobody. Nobody controls me. I say what I want to say. I say what I want to say. I say what I want to say. And if somebody comes after me with bad intent, all I want is just one. I'll take one with me. I already tell people, you come after me, and you be prepared. If I get to jump on you, I'm getting you first. And if not, I just want one of you. You can come in a group. I just want one to ride out with me. I'm taking one of you out with me. That's the way I roll. I want just one. Or if I go out, I just go out and the law will get you later. So it is. I can't make that clear enough. I don't have a following. I'm not a leader. Keep that clear. Anybody else?
Salam, Hams.
Uh,
Tariq here.
who?
Tariq.
Oh, Tariq. Good. Salaam
Yeah, how you
alaikum.
doing, man? Oh, alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome salam, brother. Another outstanding lecture, Hams. All praise is due to Allah. And I'm just gonna echo what other people said and just thank you. I'm deeply grateful. As you know, we talk a lot. I'm deeply grateful for what you've shown me and what you've shown the world about the truth of Allah's Deen al-Islam. And I'm very grateful. And I commend you again for reaching out, taking the high road and reaching out to Schwab. I don't know if I'd have done that, but but you're a remarkable person, and you offer that olive branch like that. And I hope the brother will appreciate that and be respectful going forward, and really talk with you now about getting a proper understanding of this deen. So hopefully he will do that. But thank you again for another great talk, Hamza. And I know as others do, what it took physically for you to be here today. And I hope that you'll be well after this lecture and going to do many, many more. And we'll talk. But all praise is due to Allah for having raised you up, Hamza. All praise is due to Allah, baby.
You act like I'm getting ready to go up in a puff of smoke
No,
after I sign out. Puff. So what happened?
no, I'll do it like that, man.
Admin over here said, "What the hell was that? A puff of smoke." Hunter just puffed up and what happened to Hunter? Just go up in a puff of
No,
smoke
not
and
like that,
evaporate.
man.
No, no, no. It's a little. I'm going through a little trial right now and all of that. But I said, whatever it is, I'm a slave of Allah. His work come first. Whatever I suffer, whatever pain, handicap situations that I might have that hold me back from time to time, As long as I can think and talk, I'm going to do Allah's work first, and then I'll think about myself second. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm not feeling well today. Let me put this Zoom off until another time. What time? What time are you talking about? You know what other time? You know what time you got? No. Well, do it now. And then you worry about the other time after you got this done. So this is what this is. But I appreciate those comments. Thank you very much. And I thank you again for the assistance that you give me, you, Shafiq, Tariq, uh, uh, Saeed,
Talib.
uh,
Talib.
Talib, all of you guys, and the sisters who sometimes text me or write, send me messages, send me information, one thing after the other, or comment on my YouTube channel or Facebook channel. I thank all of you folks for that, recognizing the truth of the matter. And I don't care if you disagree, just disagree. But if you disagree, at least have some argument that you put forth that you disagree with. Now, there is one person who claimed that they disagreed about Jesus having a father, and they put this long list of information there as if I don't know that information. I know that information inside out. And if I had them on this Zoom right here now and asked them about it, I, they wouldn't be able to sustain what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. When they talk about the likeness of Jesus is the likeness of Adam, we already talked about that. We talked about origination and procreation. We're talking about the Jesus of procreation, the Adam of procreation, rather, not the Adam of origination. Nobody knows any much about that situation. That's way beyond your comprehension. The Adam of origination. We're talking about procreated Adam. And then this is the kind of thing that Baba Shuaib and myself we're going to discuss. And again, you mentioned him, and I said again, very noble of him. And I always knew that he had respect for me, and I had respect for him. We just got sidetracked with some nonsense, and then we went to the wall with that. And I have to compliment him for hanging tight and doing what he did. But it was time to give it up and stop that nonsense, and let's move on for the sake of our Lord. We love Allah, we love this deen, and we love the truth. If we do, then that's what we'll do. If we don't, it'll manifest itself. It'll manifest itself. Truth, when truth comes, you have to accept the truth. You have to follow the best. Look at every position and follow the best. Says, consider every position, chapter the 39, verse 18. Consider every position and follow the best. And so this is what we intend to do, and then we'll move on and keep moving. But the Sunnis are against all of us. And like I said, they call us kafirs. And so we have to go back and get them and beat them down some more. Just keep beating them down and calling them by name and let them call me over to their little dens and their little platforms and all that. They're going to have to deal with Huda. Once I hit them with Huda, their case is done. Their goose is cooked with just one word, Hudan. Hudan, and their goose is cooked. They have no chance after that. Nobody can survive that one word. That's one word Allah says, get thee out of here. Surely guidance will come to you from me. Whoever follows my guidance, no grief and no fear. Allah says he sent his messenger with al-Huda and the Deen al-Haq to supersede all other deens, al-Huda and the Deen al-Haq. Either we or you on Huda or the law Mubin, 34:24. Either we or you are on Huda or we're the law Mubin, the ultimate ultimatum. There's no second chance. Nobody's going to escape that, period, on the planet Earth. If you're coming my way, coming my way, you're going to eat that lunch and you're done. Anybody else?
Uh, I have one more. I know you said don't ask any questions, but I have one more. Could you do an IA on obey the prophet? Because every time I say something to my friends, they keep saying, "Oh, but you have to obey the prophet. You have to obey, but you have to obey Moses, Noah, Jesus, everyone." So I'd like you to do one little meeting on obey the messenger.
Okay, maybe I'll do it with IA. I have those up
Yes,
already.
that's what I wanted. Yes.
I have them up on my YouTube channel, but I'll do one with chat backing me up. I have them up
Thanks.
already, Obey Allah and Obey the Messenger, and I'm holding up like two books uh, in my hand. I have maybe a couple of them, but inshallah, I'll make that your request for the next Zoom that I do, and I'll put it up there, and I'll ask chat to back it up. Brother's putting something up on the screen now, maybe some links where you can find that information. But I'll do it with chat backing us up. So I'll give the verses, and then let chat back that up. I'll do that, inshallah. That'll be my next lecture for you, Sister Fatima.
Jazakallah. Thanks a lot.
Brother Hamza.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. It's Talib.
Wa alaikum salam. Know that voice.
Yeah, brother. Just wanted to hit up and say thank you in that with your patience and working with us as we do, bringing the simplicity of being what Allah wants us to be, understanding the Huda, bringing us through that process, getting us to think, and bringing us the simplicity of what we have to do in order to put ourselves on the right path to get us to paradise. Just key little words like this whole argument to thee, and the simple, and we talk about that all the time. You really stress that for us to get the understanding through the simplicity of what this is. And I want to be thankful for that and allowing me to be in the group and being a whole group of us positioning ourselves and our families, which I was able to do, to be able to understand this Quran and this way of life that Allah has prescribed for us. Thank you, brother.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. And I'm always tempted to tell people our history, you and I, our history, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, but I'm tempted always how you and I hooked up and how we got to know each other. It's very funny, but it's quite interesting. We have a great history. The very important person that just spoke just now, Brother Talib, very important person in my life, and uh, I have nothing but admiration for him and the way he raised his family and the way he conduct himself, the way he's lived his life that I know, and the way we met. It's very, very interesting. Maybe one day he'll let me tell that story.
Yeah, brother. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Anybody else?
And just so you know, brother, anytime you want to tell that story, I'm open to it, man. I'm proud
Okay,
of
I
it.
can tell it right now.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
All right, let me tell it right now since you open for it. Well, this brother that just spoke, Talib, he's a retired police officer, sergeant from New York City. He worked in the police department over 20 some years, rose to the rank of sergeant. And I met him. The way I met him, another friend, uh, a friend of Tariq's rather, brought him down to a Masjid Fatima, that I was teaching comparative religion classes. And I was teaching, and you had to come downstairs, down into the basement part to come to the class. And so here comes this brother with the other friend that brought him there, marching downstairs with some shorts on. He had on short pants with his knees out and everything. And I'm saying to myself, I'm heavy Sunni at the time and all of that, you know. And I'm saying, what is this guy coming up in here? Didn't he know he was coming to a mosque? He got on some shorts and all that kind of thing, like he's going to the beach, you know. And I didn't take too kindly to that. And so when he came to sit down to hear the comparative religions talk, I talked about him. I directed my lecture to him, even though I was talking past him. Yeah, he didn't know I was talking about him. I was talking about past him, but I was talking directly to him. I was scolding him and blowing away that Christian stuff that he had from him. So that went on for a couple of days, and then he came to the class a couple more times. And then one day we sitting in the class. He tapped me on the shoulder. I looked around. He said, "Brother, I want to take my shahada. I want to take my shahada." I said, "Oh, great." So I let the imam there come and give him what we thought at that time was shahada. And so now at that time, after that, I said, well, now I got to take the brother personally under my wing and make sure that he learns this Islam, what I thought was Islam at the time. I had him all backwards, telling him about going in the bathroom with the right foot and the left foot, and one thing after the other. And our families got to know each other, one thing after the other. But one incident happened one day when he had to go down to his headquarters for something, so we were driving together. And when he got down to his headquarters, there was no parking space. So he hopped out of his car, walked up to the patrol car that was sitting there, flashed his sergeant badge on the guy and told him, "Move up out of here. I need this space." And the guy saluted him and moved. And I said, "Wow, look at this brother showing off. He's got something going on." And so we've been friends ever since then. That's the short of the story. We've been friends ever since then. And every conference that we had, he's never missed one, not one conference. He's driven from his distance to come there. When we go to the conference, he's my roommate. He's my roommate all the time. Sometimes he'll pay the bill, sometimes I'll pay the bill. But to me, he's like a brother and like a son. He's like a brother and like a son. And then, like I said, the way he raised his family are all grown now, respectable family, children in the military, doing things for themselves. And the brother has a nice big mansion down in North Carolina, gated community, living large. And so I keep telling Tariq, man, let's get up out of here and go down and hang out with the brother for a week or something and hang out down there. And and he's got plenty of space. We don't have to have a hotel or anything like that. Brother's very good, very nice brother. Drove us up from the conference. He said he'll come and take us to the conference. He's just a good brother all the way around. I just wanted to give you that short of it. I mean, I can't tell you, oh, and that's over. I don't know how many years it's been now, maybe 30 years that I've known him or something like that.
30
But
years, brother.
30 years?
Yep.
30 years, yeah. And no beef with him, no problem with him at all. And actually, I quite like the idea that I'm hanging out with a sergeant, a police sergeant. You see, a police sergeant. My admin, him sitting right here now, is packing a Glock right now. He's a court officer, and he's got a Glock on his side right here now, sitting in front of me right now. I like the idea. I like that idea.
Oh man.
I'm a gunman, and so I'm a gunman, and I don't have to walk around strapped because otherwise I'd be walking around strapped also all the time. I, I had a pistol license in New York for 15 years. I was strapped, and I had to stop because I was looking to shoot somebody. Anyway, that's that story.
Man,
Anybody?
yeah.
Any
I had to put it on mute there, brother. You had me cracking up again. But yeah.
uh,
anybody else?
if they only knew. uh,
Anybody?
Great story. Great story.
Yeah. Okay. We don't want to carry this out. If there's nobody else, no more questions, no more answers, no more inquiries, no more observations. We'll end it here. And Sister Fatima, I'll make sure next week I'll do the obey Allah and obey the messenger, and I'll give the argument, and I'll have chat back it up. And so that way you'll have a double whammy on them.
That will be great, Sheikh. I really appreciate that.
Well, I'm certainly going to do it, inshallah. If I'm alive, that'll be the next thing on the agenda. Okay, folks. So again, let me thank everyone for coming on board today. Share this video with whomever you like. For all you naysayers and people who gonna complain and run off at the mouth in the comment and all of that, you need to just stop and get lost. And then I keep telling people on Facebook, unfriend me, unsubscribe to my channel. Don't listen to my get lost, go away. Unsubscribe, unfriend me, and disappear. Please disappear. If you're not happy, you got something negative to say all the time with no argument, just disappear. I'm not asking for you. I'm not calling for subscribers. I just want my channel to stay up. As long as my channel can stay up on Facebook and YouTube and I can get the message out, that's all I want. I don't want nothing beyond that. I don't want a dollar for what I'm doing. I don't want nobody to pay me for nothing. So, but if you don't like that, go somewhere else. That's all. Just skedoodle. And I look again, I want to put in emphasis again. I look forward to, I'm going to try to contact Baba Shuaib before his next talk. I'm going to see if I can reach out to him and find out when he's got time that him and I can chat personally for about an hour. Whatever time it is in his zone, I'll make sure I get up during the day or the night and be able to make that call and hang out with him for a minute so we can talk and we can make a plan on how we want to discuss things that we differ, and not that we're going to try to win a battle or whoever, whatever. Just put our stuff on the table and see what it is, and let the people decide for themselves. Let him decide for himself. Let me decide for myself. But now make a plan against our common enemy, and that's the Muhammad hijab people and all that crowd over there. And I'm hoping that even Brother Kareem and other brothers who are uh, 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 differing with Baba Shuaib, that now we don't get into name calling. Just make your argument. Make your argument, and your argument don't have to agree and all that, but we don't want to name call people and do anything like that. Let's just stop all the name calling among us. People who claim that we follow the Quran alone, that's not what Allah would like for us to do. He doesn't care that we differ as long as we coming from the source. And so I said, I don't care if anything I see that's that I differ with, I'm jumping on it. I don't care where it came from, but I'm not going to assassinate the person who I differ with unless they deserve it. And as Shuaib said, sometimes you deserve it. And if you deserve it, then you're going to get that. So with that being said, rather, any other questions, any other comments before we sign out? Was Billy on today? Okay, we didn't hear Billy because I know.
You know, he had a recent tragedy in his family, so I don't know. He might be still dealing with that.
Yeah, okay, because I know he would be on and,
No
and
doubt.
chatting for a minute. I don't know if Alan is out there. Alan is not out there, so okay. So these are chat guys that I don't mean chat like chat, but they like to talk and go on. So I missed them in doing the question and answer time. All right, so that's it for today. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Jazakallahu khair, and we'll see you on the next Zoom.